Ginny with Motherboard Mentor, and I wanted to show you a quick example of an Astra theme install onto a new WordPress site. So this is a completely new WordPress install. You can see here that there are no posts, no pages, just the default post that comes with WordPress. And this is the live site now, which is running 2024, which is a WordPress default theme. And if you can see, if you go to Appearance Themes, there's only one theme installed here. So to add Astra, you click Add Theme. You search for Astra, or in this case, I already see it. It's purple. Install and activate. Now, if you do this, it does take all your current content and redesign it. Astra does not come with a child theme. A child theme is a theme that takes the structure of the base theme. So if you do this, it's going to redesign your content. And if you have a live site, you might not want to do that right away. You might want to install this first on a sandbox or a staging site, which your host can set up for you, play around with it, create a design, and then go live with it. Because once you go live with this theme, it takes a very bare bones approach. And I'm going to show you how to customize this, which I would recommend doing in a sandbox or a staging site. So now my theme is live. I can see it here. And I am also going to look at Astra's free starter template. So if I go to Astra dashboard starter templates, Astra comes with a building plugin called Spectra, and together they give you a lot of free templates, which I think are great. I definitely would not recommend using an AI template or even like a builder like Elementor. Those just cost, there's an overhead, it costs, there's a yearly subscription. This I think has a starter price of like $79. So definitely don't recommend if you want a free option. So I would just click through to the block editor. And then once you get in here, they also have premium themes here, which I recommend not choosing. I would choose a free theme. So these would be free. Here's premium. So I'm going to grab one of these that kind of matches what I would like my site to look like. Again, this is not a perfect match. Just find something that's close enough to what you're looking for, and then you'll have the chance to play around with it. So I am going to look at a lot of options here. You can sort. I would like a blog, and I'm going to, let's see, just do a basic blog. These are all premium. This one looks nice, so I'll click this one. It does give you the option here to upload a file. I am going to, I already have a kind of like a generic logo here. It's giving me a black background. Let's see, if I choose a different logo, yeah, we'll just choose that. And then I can change my fonts here. I'll change it to this, and I'll change it to be green, and I'll continue. I'm allowed to I can choose different options. It comes default with contact form and page builder. I'm not going to choose SEO. I have another plugin I prefer for SEO. But you can also choose e-commerce if you have a WooCommerce site that uses a plugin called Shorecart. Again, you might want to go separately and use WooCommerce. But you can choose any of these that you like and then click continue. I'm going to say test. And then this says this is going to override content and data. I don't care, but you could click keep existing data to make sure nothing is overridden, and then click submit. This should take under a minute, usually 20 to 30 seconds. It's a pretty quick builder. Again, recommendation would be to talk to your host and ask them to set up a free starter, like a sandbox template, a sandbox site. This is going to be a building site that you can build WordPress on, add content, add your design, spend weeks or months on it, and then when you're ready, ask your host to take that sandbox site or like a staging site, transfer the WordPress to your live site, and then go live. So the easiest way to do this is talk to your host, get them to set up a staging site, and then you can practice on that before anything goes live. Okay, my site is live. It took all the same content that was on that starter. I really love this design actually. And I'm going to show you a couple more things. So to start designing this, obviously we had the chance to looking at colors and fonts, but the first thing I like to do that I'm going to do in this video is show you how to tackle the home page, and after that I'll have subsequent videos for customization. So I am going to find my homepage. The way you find your homepage, the first thing you do is you go to settings and then reading. This will tell you if your homepage is displaying your latest posts or if it created a page that will show your homepage instead. So in this case, you go to pages and you find the word that's the one that's titled home. So I'm going to go to pages here. Home, it also is telling me now it's being used for the front page, which is what I want to see. And then this design is what's being shown as your homepage. So any changes here will change it on your website homepage. This is using WordPress Gutenberg. Gutenberg is WordPress's free drag and drop builder. It's really great. It has a lot of functionality, basic blocks you can add. You click the plus sign and you can add containers, headings, images, call to actions, a timer, a map. This post grid is a list of posts and blog articles. So there's so many things you can add here, and this will show up on your homepage. This is not an Astra only drag and drop. This is WordPress Gutenberg. And then this document overview is one of my favorite things to do, and I use this all the time. I keep it open. This tells you kind of the order of blocks in your page, so you can see a container was used. Inside that container, there's an info box, and now you can see where it is here. And then buttons, then it goes to the next container. So as you add and layer your blocks, they will show here, and you can add or remove any that you like. You click these three dots, it allows you to duplicate one, to add one before, after, to delete, to create a pattern. To create a pattern just means you save it and then you can pull that same block out later on another page and it's saved. So what I'm going to do, I like this header. I'm going to click inside the container and find the background. If I click on the right, under this right sidebar has two options: page, which is high level information for the whole page; block, which is specific to the block you're clicked into. So I'm going to click here. I can change my image. I can upload anything I want. Obviously, it added images as part of the starter template, but I might choose something different. And then I'm going to click inside of the info box. And here you can see this info box gives you a lot of options. You can add an icon. You can add content. There's a separator you can add. If I do a solid line, you can see that separator is, I think it's down here. It's black. You might want to change the color for that. Call to action, if you would like text link, read more, that appeared. But I am going to remove the description. I'm just going to say learn WordPress with me. I do not want this prefix.
But if I did, I could change the style. See here, you can change the color, the typography, margin. Astra has these are I'm sorry, these are WordPress specific designs, and there's so many options here for how to edit the design of your blocks. If I save it, again, this is live, but I can see my changes here. So this is the homepage. It is very fun to play around with. You might like the idea of an about section here. This is a blog section. If you click inside this post grid, it gives you the options of which post to show, what the design is like, what links. This obviously is gibberish for the admin user. So if I go to content, I can say I don't want to show the author. It removes that. But I might want to show where the comment, how many comments there are, and then the tags. But let's say you don't want a newsletter block. You just come in here, delete this, and now you don't have a newsletter block. But let's say you do want this block. Let's say we don't want this block. You might want something else. So let's do something at the bottom. So here you would click add after. It says paragraph, but you can change it to anything. And I'm going to click on my keyboard / and it lets you do like a quick jump to a block. And I'm going to type the word container because I want a new container. Now I have a new container. Inside the container, I might want 2 columns. And inside those 2 columns, I might want 2 images. Let's grab one that's already in here and see if it resizes the image into these 2 containers. Let's see what I got. They're very different sizes. Let's see what I can do. So I'm inside this. I'm going to, change it to a portrait, which obviously blows this out of proportion, and this one as well. What about a classic? No. Classic portrait? Yeah, what about this one? Classic portrait. Obviously they're pretty grainy. The quality's not great. So what I can do is I can then click back into the container and I can see that these were columns. This high level container has 2 separate containers inside of it. I can play around with the size. I would like to have spacing between these 2, but I am not going to fiddle with that now. If I were to save this, I can see that those 2 columns are now they don't look great. So what might I do? I might want to remove this container. I'm going to add a container below, add after container. I'm going to click a single column, but inside of that, I'm going to see if I can add columns. There we go. Now inside my columns, I'm going to pick 2. Now I can see on the left sidebar, I do have columns. I'm going to click high level columns. I want them stacked. I want only 2, and I do like this space in between. And I'm going to add an image here and see if I can get this to look correct. And then this one, we'll add an image. Now, in the back end, you can change the dimensions and make these the exact same ratio, but I'm going to click portrait. And then this one, click portrait and see what happens. I have 2 columns. They should, like the images should be the same. And let's see if the 2 columns fix that for me. Well, not quite. She looks great. He looks very small. I would play around with this, find a new image, add it, and see if I can adjust the portrait ratio. Oh, contain. Don't want to contain them. No. Cover will expand the image to cover. We'll keep it there, and I can play around with this. But again, add containers, design your homepage, go live when everything's in place, and then I will do subsequent videos for how to customize even further. But this is the beginning with your new homepage.